All right, here we go, week 28. We're doing our scones, blueberry scones here, okay? So again, make sure that you are looking at your lab plan sheet. Name, week 28, period, your corrective respective period, the group that you're in. You should know that by now. Your recipe is the blueberry scones. Your yield, I believe, is for 8. You'll get 8 scones there. And then your side work, look to the whiteboard. Okay, your whiteboard has all the side work. So that's that top part of that lab planning sheet. Make sure you also look in the Tuesday folder. In Schoology, you'll find the ingredients. Going quickly over the ingredients here. You need 2 3/4 cup of your flour, a 1/3 cup of your granulated sugar, a tablespoon of your baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of your baking soda, 3/4 teaspoon salt, 1/2 cup of your frozen blueberries, 1/2 cup of your cold butter, cut into pieces, and I'll stress the cold part. 1 tablespoon of your vanilla extract, 1 cup of cold buttermilk, 1 tablespoon of half and half. That's your ingredients for the actual scone part. For the glaze, you need 1 cup of your confectioner sugar, 2 to 3 tablespoons of your half and half, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of your vanilla extract. That is your ingredients. All right, so recapping real quick. We went over the top part of the lab planning sheet, and we've gone over the ingredients now. Let's go over tools. So right away, you're gonna need your dry measuring cups. We're gonna need our measuring spoons. You're gonna need a sieve, okay, strainer. From there, you're gonna need your bench scraper, pastry blender, as far as how we're gonna cut the cold butter into the flour, rubber spatula. You're gonna need a good sized bowl, big size. You're gonna need 2 of them. You're gonna need 1 big bowl, and over here for your glaze, we're gonna need a small one. From there, you need a sheet pan, 1/2 sheet pan lined with parchment paper. Again, that's a 1/2 sheet pan. From there, you're also gonna need your whisk, and you're gonna need your turner or your spatula. All right, so again, recapping, top part of the lab plan sheet, we went over ingredients, we've gone over tools now. And again, make sure that you have your hot pads as far as for the oven we're talking about here. From there, your HACCP, your HACCP, your food risk. You're gonna need your apron on. I'm wearing mine. Wash your hands. Gum, cell phones, AirPods, gloves if you have nails, if you have fake acrylic nails or you have paint on your nails. There is no cross-contamination, there's no eggs or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, so now this brings us to the instruction here. So the instruction is that first thing is you need to get that oven on at 375 degrees. I know your recipe says 400, but again, remember that we have the fans in the back of our oven, so we have to adjust 25 degrees down. So from 400, obviously minus 25 degrees, you understand where we get our 375 degrees. From there, in our big bowl here, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get our dry ingredients, all of our dry ingredients in one bowl here, okay? We're gonna start there. Here's what it looks like. One cup. And again, please make sure it's true, no mound effect. 2 cups, and we need 2 3/4. So I don't have a 3/4 cup, so I do have a 1/4 cup, which means I'm using it 3 times. One, 2, 3. So flour is in there. Next thing, sugar. Sugar, we need our 1/3 cup. So again, we do have 1/3 cups. Again, make sure, true, skim off the top, going right in. From there we have our baking powder. Which again, baking powder, understand there is a difference. They look different. I'll make sure that they're labeled for you in lab. Your baking powder, you need 1 tablespoon. And again, make sure that you are scraping off the top there. So again, 1 tablespoon in. Baking soda, you need a 1/2 teaspoon. Again, scraping off the top. And then from there, I've got salt coming in. So again, my salt here is 3/4 teaspoon. So again, 3/4 teaspoon right here. Scrape off the top, going right in. According to my recipe here, we've taken care of the flour, the sugar, the baking powder, baking soda, salt, all in 1 bowl. Go ahead, take your rubber spatula, just kind of mix it up. Fold, 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 mix, mix, mix. Okay, so from there, moving into the butter. We're gonna take our butter and using the pastry blender, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut that in. So again, pastry blender right here. Taking my butter. I'm just gonna break it off with my fingers here. Nothing special. Again, all I'm doing is just breaking it down. And from there, go ahead and coat it with butter here, or flour, excuse me. Coat the butter with the flour. Then from there, I'm going to pick up my pastry blender here, and I'm going to rock back and forth. Now I'm trying to get them into pea-sized shapes. Rocking back and forth, twisting, turning. Don't push too hard or you break the pastry blender. Again, they're not sharp, so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm pushing all the butter through. Cleaning it up. And again, keep cutting it in. So, butter's cut in, we'll move on to the next step. All right, so moving on to the next step here. We gotta get the blueberries in now. So again, your blueberries right here are in your sieve or your sifter right here, okay? In this bowl, you'll see flour in there, a little bit of flour, not a lot. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna coat the blueberries with flour a little bit. Again, this is just gonna help with making sure that they don't burst or you have any issues. Again, they are frozen, so that will help too with the bursting. That way you don't have purple dough. So again, a light coat, and then in. All right, so blueberries are in there, right? You see them up top here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of take up my whisk, or my rubber spatula, excuse me, and I'm just gonna kind of toss them in there. We're gonna fold, fold, fold. And at this point now comes your liquids, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get my half and half, and I'm gonna get my vanilla extract in there. So again, 1 tablespoon of my vanilla. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put it in here with my buttermilk that I've already measured out here, okay? It's a cup. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put the vanilla, all that in the liquid measuring cup together. 1 tablespoon going in. One tablespoon of my half and half. So again, here is my tablespoon right here, coming in. Half and half going in. All right, so again, recapping here, I've got the buttermilk in here, and this is my liquid measuring cup. And again, make sure that you put that on your equipment. So again, got the liquid measuring cup with my buttermilk, I've got the vanilla in there, and I've got the half and half in there. And according to my recipe, that's where we should be at. So again, now from here, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna make a well in the middle. You should see the donut right there, okay? Now I'm gonna put my liquid in the middle. Take your rubber spatula, get all of that goodness out of that liquid measuring cup. And then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna fold, so folding. Okay, it's not mixing, going around and around and around, we're folding, is what we're doing here. Again, what you should start seeing happen is a dough should be getting thicker, kind of getting more like dough-like consistency. All right, get everything off your rubber spatula. At this point in time, a little bit of flour go a long ways here. We're going to bring it out of the bowl onto our station. Alright, so again, I got a little bit of flour here, just going to dust, but I'm also going to keep it right there just for my hands as well. And then from there, what we're going to do, push together gently to bring it together. And again, if things start sticking to your hands, a little bit of flour. Again, all I'm doing is kind of pressing it, moving it around, pushing it together. Okay, flatten it, push together, turn it around. Again, if things are sticking to my hands, a little bit of flour. Now what I'm going to do is the size of my hand. Okay, I'm going to push down, forming the dough. Now at this point it may look like it wants to fall apart, but again what you're doing is as you're flattening it, you're pushing it back into the sides, making it a disc. notice, there's my disc, size of my hand. I'm gonna do now, carefully cut down the middle. And then from there, I'm gonna cut triangles. One triangle. I'm gonna do 3. You guys should be able to get a little bit more out of that, but I'm gonna do 3. You guys should be able to get 4 out of there. And then what I'm gonna do, pick them up gently. Put them on my sheet pan carefully. Rest of this stuff right here go in our bowl in the trash can. Using your French scraper, get all the flour, get everything off your station. All right, so this is what you got right here. You notice you should have 8, I have 6, just because I cut mine a little bit bigger here. But again, that's what it looks like. All right, so while those are in the oven, they're cooking 15, 20 minutes. We're gonna work on the glaze now. So the glaze, I'm gonna take 1 cup of the powdered sugar. And again, make sure it's true. So again, 1 cup going in to my other bowl. From there, we need 2 to 3 tablespoons of half and half. And then we also need our half teaspoon of vanilla. So here we go, half teaspoon. I'm gonna go ahead, put my half teaspoon in there. We're gonna mix all the ingredients together in this bowl. There it is. And then like I said, we are gonna take care of the half and half, 2 to 3 tablespoons. I'm gonna start with 2. Now I'm gonna start with 2, and then I'm gonna start whisking with my whisk here. And what I'm looking for is it to be kind of like a drizzle consistency. I'm gonna keep whisking, keep whisking, keep whisking. All right, I can tell you right now, look at that, it's too thick. So right there, I'm gonna keep going here. Let me just incorporate some more of this so hopefully you can see it above. So it's pretty thick. So again, now I'm gonna take half of this tablespoon. All that's left is 1 tablespoon. I'm gonna do half. Just because again, I don't wanna get it too thin, and then I gotta add more of your powdered sugar to thin it back out, or thicken it up. And again, I'm looking for the drizzle consistency here. And again, a good way to tell is if I were to take this and draw like a figure 8 on top of it. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm drawing a figure 8, and what happens is the figure 8 should stay on the surface and then all of a sudden disappear. So again, I'm gonna probably do the other just a little bit more, a tad bit more. Little at a time, little increments. Again, draw my figure 8 on top. I know it's probably hard for you guys to see it, but again, when I am doing my figure 8 here, it's staying on the surface and all of a sudden it's disappearing. So that's how I know I have the right consistency here. Okay, so again, that's done. We're gonna leave that alone. Now we're waiting for those scones to come out of the oven. All right, so again, what I'm doing here is I'm checking them, obviously, as far as the color on the outside. Turning the pan when I need to, you know, to evenly cook them. I've not took a toothpick or a skewer or anything like that to test them yet, but not there yet. But again, there's what they look like. All right, so time has gone by. Here they are. Again, triangles like I told you guys they would be. I'm gonna let them sit here for, I don't know, about a minute or so, just to kind of give that initial cool off, you know, as far as from the heat of the pan and everything like that. So give them about a minute. All right, so they've sat here about a minute and a half, right? Initial cool off has happened right here. Now I'm gonna pick this up as far as my drizzle. I'm gonna give it another whisk, 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 right? Just check, make sure it's still at the consistency that I need it, which it is. And here we go. Drizzle, 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 my nizzle. All right, and then at this point, picking up my turner here, I'm gonna pull them off and put them on my plate. All right, so after they have been glazed, they have cooled off, we put them on our plates. Here is what they look like. All right, so the only thing left to do, got to taste it, right? And obviously you're tasting, cleaning up, getting the kitchen all straightened up. My station is all cleaned, ready to go. So again, here we go. You can pick it up, eat with your hands if you want. Okay, it's done. All right, so at this point in the demo, this would be a great time to fill out your tasking out. Obviously 1 through 6, you put your name only on that backside as far as the tasking out part where it says name, your name, Chef Dawson. The first box of the column right there would be the what we do at the start of the lab, which is 1 through 6, so that's what I did. And then obviously in the middle of the lab, you just saw it was prepping, cooking, baking, and then at the end, eating, cleaning. So don't forget those things. Make sure you're on point, that you are obviously taking care of your teams. This would be a great time to start doing your teams and then go to the spreadsheet and fill out, executive chef goes out and fills out everybody's job on that lab, that spreadsheet, okay? Any questions, just make sure you ask.